Okay, so in this one we're going to be looking at how to simplify fractions, and the first thing we should do in order to simplify a fraction is just think back to the idea of what is the highest common factor. How do we find the highest common factor of two numbers? For instance, if we had the numbers 21 and 56, can we find the highest common factor? So here's how I do it. I think it's best if you write a list in order. A vertical list is handy. So we'll start with 21 and 1 because the easiest ones to always find is the number itself and 1. Then we can find 3 and 7. And I think that's it. So 56, same thing. 56 and 1 is the easiest pair. Then 2 and 28. There's nothing for 3. So 4 and 14. And then we're going to have 7 and 8. So that's all your factors for 21. And you'll see that 7 is the biggest number that appears in both of these lists. So that's what we call the highest common factor. So we're going to use the highest common factor for 21 over 56. We're going to use this highest common factor to find what do we do to simplify 21 over 56. So all you have to do is take the highest common factor, and that's the number you're going to divide both the top number, the numerator, and the bottom number, the denominator, by to get your simplest possible fraction. So looking back at my list, I can see that 7 and 3 went together. So that means that 21 divided by 7 is going to give me the answer for 3. So that's the number that's going to go there. And 56 divided by 7 is going to give me 8 because that was the factor pair there. So that means that 21 over 56 is equivalent or equal to 3 over 8. These are equivalent fractions. They're the same amount. They're written differently, but they mean the same amount, except 3 over 8 is the simplest one that we can possibly write. Right, and we know we can't go any further with 3 over 8, because 3 and 8, the highest common factor is 1. They have no highest common factor apart from 1, which is trivial, doesn't help at all. Okay, so let's have a look at these ones. I'm going to recommend you have a go at these. Start by writing your highest common factor list. So the highest common factor list for 32 and for 80 for the first one, and don't forget that 32 is a factor of 32. So I'll let you pause and have a go at this yourself, and once you're done, unpause the video and we'll have a look at the answers together. So pause your video now. Okay, so if we start by not forgetting that the first factor of 32 is 32 itself, then we can write 32 and 1, that's 2 and 16, 4 and 8, and I think that's it. Might have missed one, but I think that's it. Same thing for 80. There's a few factors for this one. So there we go. And 8 and 10. So that's all our factors. You can see that the number 8 appears in both of these lists. So 8 is a common factor, but 16 is the biggest one, the highest one that appears in both these lists. So 16 is your highest common factor. We're going to divide the numerator and denominator by 16. So often, almost always, factors come in pairs. So the pair for 16 is 2. So 32 divided by 16 is 2. And 80 divided by 16 is 5. You can see it from your factor list, or you can just know that one. So 2 over 5, there we have it. That's the most simple you can write it. And the last one, let's look at 16 over 64. Let's do the factors for 64 first. That'll be a bit handy. This is why you should always write your factor list, in fact. So here we go. Here's all the factors of 64. There's more, but if we look at this one, look, 16 has appeared already in that list. And you know that the highest common factor, the highest factor of 16 is 16, so that's as good as it can possibly get. Which means that we're going to be writing a fraction where the top number is 16 divided by 16, which is 1. Now, if you've got the top number as 1, then that's the simplest fraction that there can possibly be. So we can simplify that to 1 over 4. That's why using the highest common factor will help you find the simplest form of any fraction that you can have.